Hi everyone, it's me. I am here doing tutorials about how to make your own cleaning supplies, and we're going to make them nice and simple. I actually have all of my tools laid out before me so that it's a little easier for me to film, but you may not have everything sitting in front of you. It is pretty simple. Here's my actual supplies, if you take a look at that. So not much, not a whole ton, and I have all of my tools and bottles and all that good stuff. So I have a link to all of these things on my actual blog. So you can go into my blog and you can actually just connect straight to Amazon and have all the stuff sent to you. You can add it to your grocery shopping list. Most of this stuff is actually available at your grocery store, wherever you happen to shop. So, and a lot of it's even available at like a CVS or a Rite Aid. Like it's easy to come by. Some of it's just stuff that you already have in your house. So I have, the first thing I'm going to show you is my vinegar bottle. So I like to use a 50-50 vinegar water spray. It's great for cleaning windows. It's great. I mean, it's kind of a great all-purpose cleaner, but you also can clean all of your produce with vinegar and water. So you could put a little vinegar into a sink full of warm water and soak your produce in there. And then when you get it out, it's nice and clean and it breaks down like the waxy buildup. If you buy conventional, like cucumbers, for example, sometimes they have a wax coating and it helps to break that down. So I like to do that. I don't pre-wash my produce. I like to wash it as I use it because once it's washed, it does go bad faster. And obviously this isn't as much of an issue with organic produce because generally, or local produce, because it typically doesn't have a bunch of stuff sprayed on it for the purpose of shipping it. If you want to know more about that, my blog, I have a article about why it's better to eat local, and this is all discussed there. But for, the winter or times when you can't or you can't find something local, a lot of times I'll buy things and I make sure that I wash them really well, and that's how I do it. So when I do my vinegar spray, I like to soak things in it to make it smell pretty. So this actually has, you can see, orange peels and rosemary. So this is actually a great way to reuse, stuff that you have sitting around your house. Like when you eat oranges, you generally just throw away the peelings. And I had like a couple sprigs of rosemary left over from a recipe I was making. So I just set it in there to soak. It's great to soak it for at least 2 weeks. But if you don't have 2 weeks, that's fine too. Now, the big tip for making your own cleaning products is making sure that you have funnels, okay? Funnels are the most important thing because getting your cleaning products into your bottle is otherwise going to be a real pain. So this actually I got from Grove. It's just a simple glass bottle. And it's fine for the vinegar and water because you don't have to worry with vinegar and water about it becoming rancid. I'm not going to put any essential oils in here, and I'm not putting any other oil or hydrogen peroxide in here, so I don't need to worry about the color of the bottle. For other things, you do actually want amber bottles, and a lot of times I just use them because that's what I happen to have. So you just go ahead and pour. I will show you in. Here we go. I don't know if y'all are noticing or not, but I am actually wearing the shirt that I mended in my tutorials last week. And you can see that has a really unique and different color. I'm just going to eyeball this because it's not a big deal if it's not exact. So I'm going to go ahead and eyeball it. You want to rinse your funnels because you do not want your some of your, like your vinegar and peroxide going together through the same funnel. It'll have a reaction that you might not want. So, or it can. You never want to mix chemicals or cleaning products with each other if you don't know how it's going to react. So I'm just filling this the rest of the way with water. Probably would have been easier to use a funnel to do that, but I have a pretty steady hand. And then you're just going to go ahead and screw your lid on. And anytime you use it, all your homemade cleaning products, when you use them, you need to shake them. So just shake it up. And that is my vinegar and water. Now I label mine because I find it easier, but if you only make like 1 or 2 different things, then you maybe don't feel like you need to label it. And that's okay, whatever you think works for you. So I'm kind of sliding that back. All right, so I'm gonna make an all-purpose cleaner. And this one I actually am gonna use peroxide. So if you want some of these recipes, I'll post them on my blog, but I actually get a lot of my do-it-yourself recipes and cleaning recipes from a website called DIY Natural. So if you want to look there too, because they have all kinds of awesome tips for cleaning and everything else. It's called, again, DIY Natural. So nothing really complicated there. So I have my peroxide in here in my glass jar, and I actually just measured out a cup. And I'm going to go ahead and add my essential oils right to this glass jar. So this recipe is actually asking for a half teaspoon of lavender, half teaspoon of lemon, and an eighth of a teaspoon of peppermint. And I'm going to modify it because I don't have lemon, but I do still want it to be disinfecting. So I'm going to use lavender and rosemary instead. And I'm just going to go ahead and use a half teaspoon of each. Lavender and rosemary is a good disinfecting combination. It also smells really nice. And this one happens to be measured into a measuring spoon. Most of them you tap your drops in. This is actually easier than counting the drops. At any rate, so I'm going to add that, and then I'm going to go ahead and add my rosemary. This is a good disinfectant. I believe this one is safe for pets. So I like to use a lot of tea tree, but I don't have cats. Tea tree is actually really unsafe for cats. So if you have cats, then you might want to avoid using it. And this is a good alternative, which is, again, rosemary and lavender. I'm using half and half. You will see me make some tea tree sprays today because that is what I happen to use. But again, just go ahead and substitute rosemary and lavender if you like. So, and really, if you want to, you could go ahead and make your cleaning supplies specific to your home. So, that would be kind of a cool way to do it, is to just make your own fragrance for your home, like a signature home fragrance. And so that could be really whatever you want it to be. The whole concept here, though, is to get away from artificial fragrances. That's really what you're trying to do, and to get away from artificial cleaning products. It's just a really, really unhealthy thing to be breathing that in all day long. And especially if anybody in your house has asthma or allergies, you have to be really cautious. So this recipe actually calls for 16 ounces of peroxide. So I'm going to go ahead and measure out my second set. And then we'll do wood cleaner. And then we're going to go to a different tutorial to start bathroom cleaners, because that's a little bit longer. And that is it. So that's simple, everybody. It is actually that easy. This is and you're going to shake it every time you use it. So you don't really have to shake it when you first make it, because unless you're using it. So that is my all-purpose cleaner. I love these bottles, and they actually, by the way, they came with these little labels, and these labels peel off. So I can peel that back off if I want to. And I went ahead and used just a white chalk marker. I got this at Michael's, so that was really simple. If you guys want to know how to get those other supplies, just let me know. I'll put it on my post. I'm happy to do that. So that's that. And really, anything that you see me talking about, or you see me post about on Instagram or wherever, you're gonna find all of that on my Products I Love page on my blog. I like to keep everything kind of in one place, and it makes it nice and easy for y'all. If you are thinking, oh, I would love to start, I read about taking fish oil on your blog and I want to start taking it. I give you some good referrals to where to get it, or what brand to get, what I like, things like that. So it makes it it simplifies it a little bit. I'll move this. Alrighty, so for our wood cleaner. All right, we're gonna do, if you notice, if I'm putting this all in one container, I'm mixing it in one thing. I'm not worried about it when I'm putting it all together in the container to end up, I don't need to rinse it in between. And it's actually easier to measure it all in one spot. So this calls for a half cup of vinegar. So I'm just going to use regular vinegar here. And a quarter cup of olive oil. So I'm going to fill this to 3/4, and that is going to give us exactly what we want. This isn't super precise. It's not like I'm baking a cake. I don't need to worry about being slightly off. So it's not that big of a deal. And then, whew, that vinegar is strong smelling. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and put some, no, this doesn't go in this. This is the wrong one. This is the wood cleaner. All right, and then we're going to put some, you can put lemon juice in it, and I'm going to put some essential oils in it. I actually am going to go ahead and stick with the lavender and rosemary because I like it. And if I'm using it to clean other things, then everything will smell the same. So I'm going to put about 13 of each in there, just in case you're wondering. These are some old essential oils I happen to have, but I like the plant therapy oils a lot because they're really well tested. And it's also on my site, and you can get a set that comes with like 6 different oils. So that's really nice as a starter set. So for anybody who's just starting to use essential oils. So if you get those ones, they give you like the really common ones in that starter set. So I think you get lemon, tea tree, rosemary, peppermint. So it's a really nice set to get started with because it's a good variety, and it can be challenging. And if you pick them up one at a time, they're actually a lot more expensive. So this is a good way to go ahead and pick them up without having to spend a whole lot of money doing it. So that is actually our wood cleaner. Now I suggest that you put that on a cloth, like a nice soft cotton cloth, or you can use, this is a great use for like t-shirts or on paper towels, or even like old socks. This is actually a really good use for old, like, you know, for some reason we all have the single socks or the sock that gets a hole in it. It's a great use to, actually you can use socks really easily. You just put them on your hand like this and go ahead and spray it and wipe down your surface, and that's actually perfect. It helps keep dust and dust mites under control, and it generally keeps your house healthier. So that is that. And these sprays that are a little bit more disinfecting, just so you know, these are not heavy duty disinfectants. This is not like bleach. This is not like the kind of disinfecting that you have to be careful about. This is going to eliminate some of the pathogens you don't want in your house, but it's not going to sanitize to the point that you have to worry about your own microbiome and safety. If you have spilled something though, like chicken, just so you know, if you ever get like, you need to spray out your sink because you were rinsing chicken in it, something like that, the best thing to use to sanitize your sink to kill salmonella or E. coli is actually to spray it with vinegar and leave it for like 5 minutes and then wipe it out and then spray it with your all-purpose peroxide cleaner. So if you spray with those two and leave that for 5 minutes and wipe it out, that actually will kill anything that's in there. So that's a great way to disinfect something if you have sick people in your house, whatever. The best way to actually disinfect is to use the combination of the vinegar and the peroxide. You don't want to put them on there at the same time, but you spray one and that gets everything, that gets a bunch of germs killed, and then you spray the other one and that goes back and kills the rest. So that is all I've got for this one, and I am going to go ahead and start filming my next tutorial. I try to keep these like under 15 minutes, y'all. So I'm going to start filming my next tutorial, which is going to be all about bathroom cleaners. And then we will move on to dryer sachets. So, and that's super easy. That's going to be a fast one. So I will see you soon. I hope you tune in for the bathroom cleaners, and I hope you share this with all of your friends. So I will talk to you later. Bye.